What is the best way to start a regular communication with our team when we haven't been meeting regularly? If it's important enough to you to do, then you got to start it. If it's important enough for you to have the meeting, you've got to start it. And here's how you start it. Get everybody together. I would not start this in a written form, but I would invest 600 seconds before this meeting and really get down what I want to say. Make sure that I know what I want to say. Get it in writing. So then I get a chance to be clear about the things that I really want to say. But after the 600 seconds, after the why we're doing, you've got to communicate the why, not just the what. The what is, hey, we're going to have a weekly meeting from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Okay, well, why are we going to have, because people are going to ask why, because you would ask why. And they're not only going to ask why, but they're going to ask why now. So you know that's going to happen. You know that's some of the question you're going to get going into it. So don't just go in and say, hey, we're having a meeting. We're going to start next week. It's going to be 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I'll see you there. Because when they say, why are we going to do that? You can say, they're going to ask you the question. You'll already be ready to answer the question. Well, because whether it's our sales numbers, our retention numbers, or whatever it is, because this has happened, I believe this is our best next move. And this is why it should matter to you. There's a way to do that where it's not bossy. There's a way to do that where it's not antagonistic. There's a way to do it where it's not passive aggressive. Say what you mean to say. Say what you want to say. Also, be clear and be consistent. This is why we're having this meeting. Hey, just want to let you know we're going to start this meeting, and this is the reason why. I want to be clear about it. And we're going to meet. However, we're going to meet every single week, unless you hear differently. Unless we're not going to meet, unless something comes up. But one of the ways you'll know that is we're going to schedule it through on the Google Calendar or the Outlook calendar or whatever calendar you use in your organization. So then it's not a question, are we meeting? It's not even a question of when are we meeting. You don't have to attach the agenda. Some people like to. Some people say, hey, well, we're going to talk about what I want us to talk about, and we'll talk about it when I get there. Okay, I get that too. There's certainly lots of different preferences on how people do it, but I don't know that there's one set way to do it where it's the best way. But the big deal is to communicate why it's important. Now back to the whole topic of our conversation for today. Is your current culture of communication costing you more time, more trust, or more money? If you ask people to start coming to a meeting that they don't see value in and that I haven't communicated well, if I'm asking them to come to a meeting but not setting the expectation for the meeting, so we're having a meeting just to have a meeting so we can say we had a meeting, okay, now I'm setting the meeting up for failure. And then this thing that I'm trying to do with regular communication, consistent, clear communication, I'm really thwarting from the beginning. I'm cutting the legs out from under it before it even has a chance to stand. All because we take a very small view of what we need, and then we apply that to everyone. Well, I don't really need the details. We'll just kind of sit back in the chair. I don't really need the details, so I'll just come to the meeting. I'm sure everybody's just going to come to the meeting the same way I would. I don't need to know everything. Have you met people? That's not how people do it. There's also a trap you can fall into, especially if your team's really good at anticipating other team members' needs, or if you've worked together for so long, you kind of read each other's mind a little bit. Hey, Mike, we've worked together for quite a while. Angry eyebrow, finger in your face. We worked together for quite a while. Won't they feel like I'm patronizing them if I say, okay, we're going to have a meeting and it's going to be every week at this time to this time, and this is what we're going to talk about? Not if you do it right. But if you go into it thinking you're going to be patronizing, then probably that's what's going to happen. So the way that we combat that, again, zoom out, the way that we combat that, be clear, be consistent. Be clear, be consistent. Say what you mean to say. Don't say what you don't mean to say. Be clear and be consistent. And when there are questions, invite them. One of the main reasons, one of the main mistakes I see people making is they'll have a meeting and they don't ask the question at the end or at some point in there. They don't ask the question. Does that make sense? You guys have anything to add? One of the reasons why I bring a bottle of water to every session, most every session, even to this one where it's just Tyler and me here for this one and in person, and then you guys are watching, it's because I know if I end the session with the full bottle of water, it wasn't a good session, it was a lecture. And everything that we try to do it from an attitude of engagement. We try to invite engagement. So have this bottle of water and ask the question and then take a drink. Do you guys have anything else to add? Any questions? This bottle of water is one of the things that helps me ask questions a lot. Ask a lot of questions. You know why I ask a lot of questions? Because I don't just want to be a lecturer, especially as a leader of my team. I want to know that you understand what I'm saying. I want to know the communication that I intend to send out isn't falling flat. And when we make space for people to ask questions, now we're building trust. We're giving them an opportunity to trust us with a question that they either don't know the answer to or they don't know why the answer is what it is. And what that's going to do is that's going to continue to improve our teamwork. It's going to continue to help us grow together as a team, help us move in lots of ways that are mostly all good. So as a leader in an organization, I've got to make space for people to say what they want to say, even if it's tough for me to hear, because the truth is they're going to say it anyway. They just may not say it to you. They may say it in the locker room. They may say it by the water cooler. They may say it in the parking lot after 5 or whenever people go home. One of our main jobs whenever we partner with an organization is we want to try to keep the locker room from becoming toxic. We want to help remove blind spots from people. And that's why we're talking about communication in these different ways today.